Hey guys, the Bears fan 06 here, and today I have for you our second installment of our spells breakdown. We're going to be talking about Inspirit and Inspirit all fighters today. What Inspirit does is it raises the attack of one of the fighters when a line forms, and Inspirit all does the same thing, raises the attack of every fighter when the line forms. So it does every fighter versus just one fighter. Both have their benefits. Inspirit itself is an adept skill, so it gives you more attack versus the novice one where it won't give you as much. But the Inspirit all hits all of them, so you have a better chance of it proccing, which is what you would want for raid boss and siege. Let's take a look at the fighters. We're going to go from worst to best. The first one is Silbo Bill. The reason why I ranked this fighter the worst, it has decent stats, especially compared to the next couple fighters you're going to see, but there's a few things. First thing is it's Inspirit, not all, and it's novice, not adept, with a cooldown of 1, which is what we're going to typically see is 1. But here's the thing, is it's novice, not adept, and also this fighter is extremely rare. The odds of getting one, it would cost you a ton of money. It wouldn't even be worth it. Pretty much based on the availability and it also being novice, not adept, it does a very crappy fighter. Although the stats wise are better than the next upcoming. The next one is Antana. This one has basically the worst stats out of all of them. Bonuses, it's cooldown of 1, adept, and it's single target. This one should be extremely cheap. 1 bidder for a 5 out of 5. You shouldn't have to pay more than that. If you just give it time, you'll eventually see one. You might even be able to grab one for maybe a glue, which is like half a bidder. Just takes time, but real basic, super cheap. Next one we go up to is Art. This guy, you'll know him. He's one of the main fighters you get in the beginning of the game. Adept with a cooldown of 1. Stats pretty similar, really crappy. Same thing. Don't ever pay a lot for him. You can get one super cheap or practically for free, especially a 5 out of 5. Third one is KiK Id. This is the one I'm currently using. The only reason why I'm using it is because I got all of mine for just 1 bidder for each 5 out of 5. Same thing, it's single target, adept, and it's 1 cooldown. Stats wise, HP is 1203. I get asked why I use KiK Id over the next fighter, which is Even Gloom. It does have slightly more HP, still the same single target, adept, and a 1 cooldown. The only thing is during raid boss, it doesn't matter because the boss is going to kill both of those guys in 1 hit regardless. So he wouldn't live anyway, so there's no point in me switching it to this one. And for siege, there's no difference either because in siege, all we're working on is his spells alone, nothing pertaining to his HP. Attack's slightly higher, not much for me to make a difference for me to really even care. Those are the base fighters. Real simple, basic ones. Those are the ones everyone can get. Real easy if you want to use them. These next 3 are the top 3. They're slightly different. The first one we're going to look at is Ninkarak. This guy, he's an epic, so there's only 2 epics that have Inspirit on him. He is the single target one. There is one that's Inspirit all. He has a cooldown of 2, which really sucks in my opinion. Adept, which is nice. Decent HP compared to the other ones at least, and decent attack. So they do attack sometimes for me. He roughly runs, I think it's 25 to 35 bidders for a 5 out of 5. So you can purchase them fairly cheap. I'm going to complete one of them and test them out and see how it goes. But I already have a hard enough time to get the 1 guys with the 1 to proc when I start the fight originally. So one with 2 cooldown would be even harder, especially since it's only single target. It's only about a 33.33% chance of it hitting the fighter you want. Now the odds do increase if one of them dies in the line. So it depends really on what's left alive and when it actually is able to proc. But he's the 3rd best right now. Hopefully it will get something better. I was hoping they would change his cooldown to 1 before the event ended, but they didn't, so this is pretty much his set in stone stats. The next 2 are the best ones that are available. Flame Winder is one of the best ones. Reason why is she's Inspirit all. Now it's novice, not adept, which no Inspirit alls have adept right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. A cooldown of 2, which is typical for Inspirit all right now. Decent HP, decent attack for a rare at least. Is it going to live a hit? No, typically not. Sometimes it does with 300%, but very rare. Overall, though, very good because it hits all of them in the line. So if you can afford her, she's really good. I personally would have 9 of them. She's somewhat rare now. Not 9, but you know what I mean, 8 of them. She's somewhat rare now, unfortunately. So her prices are fairly high. They're about 50 to 60 bidders for a 5 out of 5, which kind of sucks, which stops me from wasting money on her, to be honest with you. Cooldown of 2, which is nice. Hopefully one of these days they'll release an Inspirit all with a 1, but I doubt it. They don't seem to want to move that direction. They barely released any to begin with. Maybe we'll get a re-release on her, which would be nice. The first place one is the best fighter available. Unfortunately, it's the most expensive one. Emmerich. This fighter was in a docksite build a little bit ago. Emmerich is really nice because of the decent HP, the actually semi-high attack and defense. The defense is really nice because it can take, probably could take a couple hits possibly, depending on what level raid boss you're fighting. Inspirit all, which is awesome. It's still novice, like I said, there's no adept Inspirit all, and a cooldown of 2. Here's the major downside. You need to be rich to afford it. Her looks like a her. She's fairly expensive. There's really none up on the market right now. But overall, I think I've seen her for about 150 to 200 bidders for a 5 out of 5, which is pretty pricey. And honestly, if you go through the standings, you don't really see too many of her out there. I mean, there are some. It seems like it wasn't a available fighter. It wasn't an easy one to get, unfortunately. But let's pull it up and see what's in there now. So Emmerich, rank 1. So here's the 3 out of 5 for roughly 60 bidders plus 70, so 130. So 145. So really you can complete one if you wanted by buying these two. 120 plus, yeah, so roughly about 200 really, to be honest with you. So like I said, 150 to 200. I don't know if 150 is quite the price range. If you could find one at that, it might be worth it. But overall, they're super expensive. They're really good, unfortunately. The reason why they're so expensive as well. But let's take a look and see who's actually using some of these fighters right now. Maybe this guy. Yep, so he got 2 of them. As you can see, he's using quite a bit of guys that boost attack for that reason. So they are very useful, especially for raid boss and siege. As you can see, holy crap, they have a lot of points today. Same thing here. This guy's doing the same thing. Sorry about that. So these are what you want to use these guys for, is for siege and raid boss. Your goal is obviously to do the most amount of damage you can. Man, there's a lot here. I'd like to know how much damage he actually does. Probably quite a bit. And he already got him super fused. Holy crap. He has 4 Emmerichs and 3 there. So as you guys see, they are useful. You don't have to go super expensive. You can see some of them were using the fairly cheap versions of them too. Holy crap, that guy spent a ton of money. But that's it for this breakdown, guys. If you have any questions, please post in the comments and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.